make myself known to the bankers so that when I get ready to get the big money that I anticipate on getting soon, I will be able to go in there and have already established those relationships to help me obtain that kind of money, to whereas I can open up businesses and have access to money, have access to cash. Coach Darvin Moore taught me that. He taught me how to be confident in that. He taught me how to be not be afraid of establishing those types of relationships, because those type of relationships is going to be what is needed to help you obtain your goals in life and your dreams and aspirations that you have set for yourself regarding your credit and regarding your business opportunities. So if you're sitting and wondering who to call or who to work with regarding helping you in this journey of credit, you need to definitely call Coach Darvin Moore because and his team Credit the Blueprint, because you will definitely win and win big. When I tell you he's the best of the best, he's the best of the best. And when I tell you he is the best in the world, he is the best in the world, in my opinion. And no one can.
Greetings, guys. Listen, this is going to be an outstanding seminar, okay? It's the Financial Blueprint. Me and my good friend, Pastor Robert Piles, we're going to give you a lot of insightful information. We're going to dissolve credit myths and give you some information on business credit. I encourage people to form a company. Listen, you don't have to know what you want to do in business to form a company. I just encourage us to just look at it, do it. You know, you may fail a couple times, but look, now you understand and you know.
So I want to make sure that the report is clean. When you get this information, if you're not inspired after this, then I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell about it. If they ain't inspired about this, sometimes it's convicted. But you're going to be released, but it's going to be a conviction there to know that, man, now I know what I didn't know.
Financial planning is needed by everyone, whether you're rich, wealthy, or poor.
We're needing all the tips that Pastor Pyle has, so I'm excited
to hear two great men talk about credit, learn the rules of the game, so we can take this thing to the next level.
I can't wait to listen to what you got to say, man, because every time I talk to you, you come on with something even more.
No, you always say something. You're the comedy guy. This guy knows how to put financing and comedy together, and it all makes sense. But you know, we got to start in about 2 minutes. We better get on out of here.
Hey, you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
We loved it.
Absolutely excellent, fabulous. This information should be passed church communities, like he said, within our families. This is the most important thing, is financial literacy.
I'm excited because I'm definitely working on my credit at this time, and I know Darvin is definitely the man.
Marvelous. I learned so much, and I am so grateful, and now I'm going to go buy the package.
Peace and greetings, everybody. This is Brother Romel. Just want to give a shout out to Brother Darvin and the Coaches Circle. I have had an extraordinary year due to my involvement in this Coaches Circle. Earlier this year, accounts was not where they were. I did not own a car. I did not own a home. I'm happy to say now I do own my own home. I do have my own car owned, paid for, okay? And I also have access to much capital in credit. Also, too, I did recently, too, just get married. So for me to have those 4 major accomplishments within this year is just great. Like, I'm just eternally grateful. And again, very, very much grateful for making that decision to invest wholeheartedly in the Coaches Circle with the Brother Darvin. I also hope to just share some light with you guys in regards to my involvement with the Coaches Circle. The biggest advice that I could give to help these things manifest through is to just, you know, if you're gonna work with the coaching circle, make sure that you are also putting in that work, and make sure that you just stay steadfast on those instructions that you're getting with the brother Darvin, and everything has no choice but to manifest itself. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for your time. Have an excellent rest of your holidays. Peace.
So my name is Salika, and I just want to give a quick shout out to Darvin Moore. Darvin, I just want to thank you for just helping me to get some more knowledge about credit and just helping me to know the pros and the cons about credit. That's rewinded about a couple months ago, actually a couple years ago. I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't know the pros and the cons, and I wasn't able to get anything approved in my name. So shout out to his dispute letters. I was able to get 13 negative items removed off my credit, and the score increased from 485 to 710 points, you guys. So I just want to thank him and shout him out. Just go check him out. Make sure y'all join the winner circle, because that's where it's at. He can help you get access to capital. He can help you expand your business and get access to business loans. Make sure y'all follow up with him, because he knows his stuff, and he's definitely going to show you the route and walk you all the way through, and it's so helpful and patient.
How's everybody doing today? This is Coach CJ. Every little once in a while, even a coach needs somebody to coach them. And I don't know any other better coach than Coach Darvin getting your credit together. Let Darvin get your credit together. There's nobody else in the game that's better than Darvin at getting your credit together, getting you back on track, and getting you the things you need in life to succeed. Coach Darvin, you the man. I appreciate you. All right.
Hey y'all, my name is Asia, and this is my son, and we are a part of the Coaches Circle. I'm so very fortunate to be a part of the Coaches Circle. Coach Darvin has taught us so much, not just about credit, but financial literacy. And then also he made me understand that credit has no age restriction. Entrepreneurship has no boundaries when it comes to age. That's why my son Jordan is a part of the Coach Circle as well. So he's really the member. I'm just a co-signer because he's a minor, and so I need an adult to help him do this stuff. But I'm gonna let him tell y'all how the Coach Circle has helped him as well.
Hey guys, my name is Jordan. I'm 14. I'm the youngest member in the Coaches Circle. I'm really excited to see where this journey is gonna take me. Coach has already taught me a lot of different things as far as financial literacy goes and learning about credit and things of those nature. I think that is very important that you guys follow those steps that he gives you every 30 days, or you're gonna be behind.
Period. Thanks, Coach.
Darvin Moore. Let me tell you something. Darvin Moore let me see that what I thought I knew about credit, what I thought I knew about business credit, I didn't know anything about how the credit world worked. Darvin Moore is someone that I'm going to use the church acronym. He's anointed. Let me just say it this way. He's a genius when it comes to that credit.
What up, what up, what up? Just sending a shout out to Coach Darvin. This is Anthony, and I've been in the circle for like about a year now, close to a year. I was able to get my credit score up. I came out here and purchased a new truck, Silverado 2020. So I just want to encourage everybody, you know what I'm saying, join the Coaches Circle, get your credit up, get your score up, because if you ain't in the circle, I don't know where you at. So if I can do it, you can do it. Once again, shout out Darvin Moore, Coach D. What's up? Peace.
Hi, my name is Janice Jemison, and I'm a member of Team Credit the Blueprint. I just want to share a few thoughts with you today about my credit coach, Coach Darvin Moore, and Team Credit.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's the coach here in the building. We're going to get started in about the next few minutes. Okay, so if you got the invite link, go ahead and invite somebody. Invite, some family members, friends. But we're going to get started, guys, in the next 3 to 5 minutes. So go ahead and, get your notes out. Okay, get a pen and paper because it's going to be very exciting. All right, guys, so we're going to get started in just a few minutes.
Blueprint. I have been a member of Team Credit the Blueprint for a couple of years now. And when I tell you that when I came into the program, my credit scores were in the low 500s, 520s, 530s, 540s. nothing higher than that. And as of today, I am at the door of being in the 700 club, right at that 700 mark almost. And I am so excited about that. Since being in the program, Coach Darvin Moore has been nothing short of amazing, phenomenal, just a wonderful, wonderful coach to guide you, help you through your credit journey. He is always there to support, to help, and to assist you in whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish. He is always there for you. Team Credit the Blueprint, his team is always there, accessible to guide you through on your needs, your questions, your concerns, your issues, whatever you are facing, whatever you are dealing with regarding your credit journey, they are there for you. Like I said, as of today, my credit is almost at the door to the 700 club. And even on this week, I have gotten my first credit card since being on this journey. Every time.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. All right, I think everything is good. Just send a note and say, okay, coach, I hear you. All right, great. Beautiful. All right, so of course, first off, guys, we're going to see if we can get Miss Diamond in. Diamond is the person involved. I just allowed you to talk. Diamond, you want to come in? Guys, listen, Diamond is the young lady that kicked this personal and business credit workshop off. So I want to let her start off by, probably doing an introduction of herself, her group, and me. So Diamond, can you talk now? I think you just have to hit that mute button, Miss Diamond, if you can. If not, I'm gonna come on in and we're gonna get going. All right, I'm not sure, guys, if Diamond gonna be able to come in. Let's take a look here. All right, I don't think so. So at the end of the day, guys, Diamond, like I said, she kicked this workshop off today. Diamond has a group called Royal Queen, because Royal Queen of a Diamond, that's the name of her YouTube page as well. Royal Queen Group is the group on Facebook. All right, guys, so I'll go ahead and get started. So those that don't know, all right, I guess I'll get on video for a second here. Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's the coach in the building. My name is Darvin Moore. I've been helping people, get access to capital, build their personal and business credit to the next level for years now, okay? I've been teaching across the country. And of course, today, what we want to do is, give you guys a good kickstart, right? Give you a good general understanding, even an advanced understanding on personal and some business credit building, okay? We won't dive a lot into business credit. We'll get into there some, still be some great tips, but we'll have another class or workshop on business credit. So make sure you guys tune in or sign up for that, okay? Very important. Okay, let's see. So Diamond, I turned your phone, I unmuted you, so if you can get in and say something, that'd be great. I just got that message from you. And so, guys, follow me on social media, right? Team Credit the Blueprint is my Facebook group. My name is Darvin Moore on Facebook, Instagram. I'm Coach Darvin. And of course, most of the information I'm gonna be talking about today, if you need some help and assistance, then of course, you're gonna come over to my website, which is globalcredithelp.com. Okay, so guys, do me a favor, share this. I'm going to go to a presentation shortly, and we're gonna talk that out. If you got questions, we're going to answer those questions, guys, at the end. So the last 15 minutes, we're going to answer questions. We're going to do about 45 minutes or so on straight, giving you some insight on personal and business credit building. You can put some questions in the chat box if you like. But like I said, I'll deal with any other questions you guys have at the end of the presentation. Okay. So hope that all makes sense. So somebody asked, can you put the link to the website in the chat box? I know we got a few people on. Somebody go ahead and put that link in the chat box. So guys, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started here, okay, with our presentation. All right, let's see. I'll make sure share this. Is that you in, Diamond? I hear you, Diamond. Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, everybody's doing great. Everybody is muted. The only people that's talking is me and you now, Diamond. You kind of want to introduce yourself and kind of tell them about your group. And then from there, I'm going to go right into the presentation so they can get, what they've been waiting for, which is that information. Okay.
Okay. So thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Diamond Yarn, as you guys see on the screen. A little bit about myself is I have a group called Royalty Queens Group. That is a group where women, young women, older women, it don't matter, can come in and join the group. And we have a lot of special things that we offer in the group. Domestic violence. I am an advocate of domestic violence. So you can definitely come and join our group if you, feeling discouraged or in need of prayer or anything that's going on in your daily life. We do specialize. I have a lot of people in the group that do specialize in different areas of those concerns. I am married with 9 children. You can also reach me on my YouTube pages, which is my YouTube page is Royalty Queens of a Diamond. My Facebooks are Diamond Yarn or Royalty Queens Group. My Instagram is Diamond Joe 87, and my TikTok is Royalty Queens 2022. So those are some of my social media platforms that you guys can reach me at. And now I will let Darvin Moore take over. Thank you guys for joining us.
All right. Thank you, Diamond. So I'm not sure, Diamond, can you mute your phone? I can try to mute it just so we won't have no background.
I'll mute it, yeah.
Okay. And so from there, I'm going to try to pull up this PowerPoint presentation so that we can go ahead and get started. All right, guys. So let's see here. Let me know, make sure, can you guys still hear me well? Y'all gonna say yes or no. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because if not, let's see. All right, I'm just waiting on somebody to say yes, they can hear me. And then I'll go ahead and start with the presentation. So once again, guys, for those that don't know, my name is Darvin Moore, a financial strategist, helping people get to the next level. For the last 10 years now, I've been helping people build their personal profiles, build their business profiles, and home ownership, even just starting businesses and getting access to capital. That's something I've been doing now pretty much full time for the last 10 years. All right, so kind of get straight into the presentation to talk about it.
Let me ask you something. How different would your life be if you could purchase that?
All right, so this slide really just talks about families, man. It says families in general do not discuss wealth openly. Only 4% of families have regular meetings to discuss money matters, while 45% of families say wealth is never openly discussed. Okay, so it's incumbent on advisors, therefore, to take the first step in engaging the whole family. And so today, guys, that's what we're doing. We engage in the whole family. And it's crazy that, you know, that they say only 4% of families talk about money. And so my question is, if we're not talking about money, then how do we think that we're going to be able to maintain it? How do you think we're going to be able to access it, right? I have people that's married, that's my clients, and the husband and wife don't know, you know, what the other is making on the job. And, you know, to me, I think that is not a good, you know, not a good look, right? Also, you know, I have people that, you know, they may go to a bank and get, you know, access to capital or get approved. And they say, well, I'm not telling anybody about this. I'm gonna keep this to myself. And so I think that's a big problem that we have, guys, that, you know, we should come up with another healthy way of discussing money, right? We should sit down. We should have meetings, you know, at least once a month, every couple of weeks, where we're sitting down and we're talking about money, even if it's just, you know, discussing bills with the kids or what have you. But we have to start engaging the whole family, guys, and talk about money and wealth building. Because if we don't, then, you know, where will we be, right? So a little about me, I kind of talked about me before, but of course, guys, I'm a credit expert and financial strategist. You know, I've helped tens of thousands of people, you know, get to the next level of the game. Okay. I started off as a barber, right? And I did wholesale distribution at an early age. At the age 17, I had my own, well, I didn't have my own barbershop. That's when I started. Had my own barbershop at about 20 years old. And what happened there was I wanted to get more barbershops, right? And I would go to the bank and ask, you know, for access to capital. And the bank would say, well, no, not today, Darvin. Your scores is 600, you know, 605. We really can't do anything for you today. Pay these couple of collections off, come back and see me, and then we might can do something for you. And I did exactly what the banker asked me to do. I paid those collections off, came back to see the banker, and I still couldn't get the money, right? I still couldn't get the loan. My scores were the same, even though I paid the collections off. And I'm telling you guys, this story is because, you know, the bankers really don't have all of the answers, right? The bank don't train the bankers on how the credit process really works, okay? Because I did exactly what the lady asked me to do. I came back, my scores were about the same or a little less, and I still couldn't get the loan. I eventually got the loan, you know, a year or so later after I figured out really how all of this stuff goes. And as a matter of fact, that same banker is my client today. I have dozens of bankers that's my clients today because of the information that we bring to the table, okay? And so for over 10 years now, I've been providing valuable advice and lessons on credit and wealth management, okay, to people, to the communities. I've been doing workshops and seminars across the country, even some internationally, okay? And so I've helped to align business-minded individuals with specific information and resources needed to launch and grow their business, okay? So today, guys, we're gonna dive in, and I'm hoping that you guys are receiving this information. I'm hoping that, you know, of course, that you got your notepads and pens out, because that's going to be some good information today. So I want to start here, right? One thing is for sure, you know, the American dream, of course, guys, is the house and the car, right? The car, of course, is a, you know, depreciating asset, so to speak. So it's a liability more than an asset, and the home is more on the asset side. So I want to stick with talking about the home. Everybody wants to buy a home or should buy a home, right? And a lot of times we think that it takes, you know, years to get a home. And guys, that's not the case. You know, no matter where your credit is today, in 3 to 12 months, you should have your credit in position to buy a home. Okay. In most cases, you know, you really only need a 600 credit score to buy a home. I still advise for you to have those scores at 700 or better. Why? Because of course, you'll have the better interest rate. Now, I talk to a lot of people and they say, well, I'm gonna get a house in 2, 3, 4 years. And, to me, that's a long time, right? 2, 3, 4 years. In that kind of time, you may get discouraged. Something crazy may happen where, you don't get the house. So I like telling people 3 to 12 months, focus in on getting your home in that time frame and you'll be okay. And basically, guys, all you have to do to get that house is get those scores up, right? Remove the negative items from the credit report, add the right positive items to the credit report, 4 to 6 positive items. You guys write that down and then go get your home. Okay. So real simple, guys, to buy a house, you want to have 4 to 6 positive accounts. Really only need 3 to 5, but I'm just going to say 4 to 6 because I want everybody to always focus on 4 to 6 positive accounts reporting. Positive active accounts, not old accounts that's paid off and closed. The banks want to see active accounts, guys. Okay. So 4 to 6 positive accounts and removing the negatives. So when it comes to the negative, listen, if anybody that's listening today have negative information on the credit report, all you're going to do is simply dispute it every 30 days until it's gone. Okay. No matter what, just going to ask the credit bureaus to verify or remove this information from the credit report. And that's it. Okay. I'll dive in on that part a little more later. And of course, we have some products and programs. If you guys don't want to do it yourself or need a little help in that light, we have some things for you to do that. Right now, I'm just trying to give you the information. Okay. And so remember, to get a home, you want to get all the negatives off the credit report. Because when the negatives are off, it helps the score be the highest that it could possibly be. You want to have 4 to 6 positive accounts. Okay. 1 or 2 of those accounts need to be a credit card. Okay. Remember that, guys. It needs to be a credit card. A credit card goes in what's called the revolving section, and it's 30% of your score. So the credit card helps boost the scores up. Okay. Just remember, though, that credit card the balance needs to be 10% or less of the limit to have the best score. Okay. So guys, listen, anybody listening on today, of course, I'll be giving anybody today a one-on-one a consulting call. Okay. So I'll give you that information later because, I know the information. I know a lot of times you guys, this might be a little different for you. You don't understand everything that I'm saying. But of course, me or my team will do that one-on-one call with you to get you going. Okay. So I just want everybody to know that it don't take a long time to get into a house. Okay. Just within a few months, you can get there, get your kids together, sit them down, get those negatives off their credit report, get a few positives, get them into a house. Okay. As an investment. Now, you guys do know that, normally my recommendation, especially for a first-time homeowner, is to get a duplex, right? I talk about now you can rent free forever, right? You don't have to pay for where you stay. If you get a duplex, that means that that's a 2-family house. One family be on one floor and the other family be on the other floor, unless it's side by side. But what happens is the other person will be paying, right, your mortgage, and now you won't be paying anything, right? So now you'll be staying for free. And so I think that that's a great idea. And if you're the kind of person that don't like to stay with anybody, then what I recommend that you do is still get the duplex, rent both of them out, and then one of those tenants will be paying your mortgage, and the other tenant, the money you get from the other tenant will be paying for wherever you are staying now. So I hope that makes sense, guys. This is why home ownership is important, because as the years go by, what happens is the house will grow in value. And as you're paying the note down, you also are accumulating a little bit of reverse equity. Okay. So this is why home ownership is important. So I thought I'll have this slide up here to dive into that for you. Now, I'm not sure if you guys seen some of the testimonials before I started today, but this is a good brother. His name is Romel Bay. He joined one of our programs about 6 months ago. Okay. And in 6 months, he joined the Coaches Circle. In 6 months, he was able to purchase his first home last month in December.
He also was able to establish a new business. So he formed a new company. And he also was able to gain access to about $45,000 in unsecured capital to invest in something to grow, his empire, right? He bought a new car, guys, and he also got married to his beautiful wife, okay? And so these are some of the things that just about anybody can accomplish if they focus on it, right? If they put their mind to it. Because what I've learned over the years when it comes to credit building, it's only focus, right? It's only focus, guys. So credit is chess and not checkers. And that's what I want you guys to always remember. It's a strategy game. So you have to move this piece here, then you do this piece next. So it's steps that you have to do to get to this place, okay? And that's on the personal, guys, and the business side. Anybody can build their personal credit scores to the 700s in a matter of 3 to 12 months and get all that negative stuff off the report. And that's the same thing on the business side. You can build a business profile in that short time frame as well to have a great business credit score. It's all about the completion of the steps, okay? And that's it. So if you're ready to get going and get yourself to the next level, then you just got to commit to saying, I'm going to do these steps, right, to get there. So you guys know this guy here, his name is Albert Einstein. And, what he says is that you have to learn the rules of the game. And then you have to play better than anyone else. So today, guys, my objective, my mission is to give you the rules of the game so that you can play better than you've been playing before and play better than most people, okay? So we'll start off, by you guys learning a little bit about the credit bureaus and credit monitoring, right? This is where we start. Why? Because the credit bureaus are the people who, they're the gatekeepers, right? They're the gatekeepers because they have our data, our information. So they have all our car loans, our mortgage loans, our credit card debt. All of that information is held by the credit bureaus. Of course, you guys know it's 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Okay, those are the 3 major ones. But I want you to understand that it's more than just those 3. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's hundreds of companies that process data and information. These are just the main 3. But there's other ones that's coming to the table now that are being looked at a little bit more, like your SageStream, your Innovis, your check systems, your early warning. These are even more bureaus that's coming to the forefront that banks and lenders are using a little more. But I don't want to confuse you because the main ones are still TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Okay. Now, I will mention this for those that's taking notes and write this down: check systems. Okay. If I don't care if you got an 800 credit score, if you're in check systems, 9 times out of 10, you won't be able to get approved for any type of loans or credit cards or capital. Okay. Because most banks now are checking check systems. About at least 80% of the banks are checking check systems. So what you want to do is you want to go to checksystems.com, get a report, and make sure you're not in there. And that's normally if you owe the bank money, right? If you wrote a bad check or something like that, that you had a bad bank account, you want to get out of there, okay? So learning about the credit bureaus, like I say, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax are the main 3. They're just companies that process, data and your information. The great thing is, they're privately held companies, and all of the information that they hold and data that they hold on you, we can get it off the credit reports by simply disputing every 30 days until it's gone. And so you need to understand that and lock that in your brain. Anytime you got anything negative, you want to dispute so it can come off. Now, of course, here it talks about credit monitoring. So when it comes to credit monitoring, my recommendation is identityiq.com. Okay. I do have a link where you guys can use where you can get a discount. Instead of $29 a month, it could be $21 a month, $21.99 a month. If somebody can put that link in the description or in the chat box, that'd be great. But Identity IQ, the reason I like them is because they give you all 3 credit reports side by side, right? So when you go on the credit report to look at your credit report, you're able to see everything in front of you at one time. A lot of these other credit reports and agencies, they give you one credit report at a time. Here's your TransUnion, here's your Equifax, here's your Experian. And it's harder for you to understand it. It takes longer to read it. So this is why I definitely recommend Identity IQ. So if you go ahead and go to Identity IQ, sign up, I want you to send over your username and password to me and my team, and we'll tell you exactly what's going on. So, if you're not understanding what I'm saying here today on this webinar, that's okay. Me or my team can tell you exactly what's going on and give you a free one-on-one because you are on this webinar today. Okay, so identityiq.com. Now, of course, I talked about the 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. These are the gatekeepers, okay? You have to focus on getting everything off of these reports so that you can get access to the money from the bank, so you can get approved for your loans, your home loans, your credit cards, your business loans, and things like that. These are the gatekeepers, okay? So I'm gonna let you guys hear a real quick shout out from Bishop Brian Kate Baldwin of Kingdom Worship Living Center and CEO of Beers Construction Service, LLC.
Good morning. I'm Bishop Brian K. Baldwin, Senior Pastor of Kingdom Living Worship Center and sole owner of B&A Remodeling and Construction, LLC here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I just want to give a shout out to my friend and my brother, Coach Darvin Moore, and his credit counseling and guidance, which he's given me for not only personally my credit score has increased, but particularly joining the coach's circle. It has helped my church's credit line increase. My personal business line has increased to where now we have purchased more equipment. I have added more employees to the business because we're able to do more work. And this was all possible how to increase my credit line for my business and the church and improve my personal credit score. We're on the move here. And those of you that have doubted about the coach's circle, I tell you firsthand, you need to join that. And you need to do the work that the coach is instructing you to do. You need to watch the videos and you need to pay attention and listen to what he's teaching us. This is for you to create generational wealth. God bless you and join the coach's circle.
All right, thank you, Bishop. So guys, this screen here, I don't know if you could take a picture of it, but this is very important, okay? This is the components of credit. This is how your credit scores are calculated, okay? Some of you guys might know this already. Most people don't. I did a lecture in Los Angeles about 1.5 years ago, and it was nothing but millionaires in the audience. And I asked the question, who understood the components of credit? Well, first they asked me, how do I think that, the young minority entrepreneurs, what's one of the main things that they should understand about finances and getting to the next level? And my answer was a question. And the question was, who understands the 5 components of credit? By raise a hand, please let me know. And out of about 70, 80 of the people that was in the audience, only one person raised their hand. And it was the guy that was doing the filming, right? So, and I don't think that he was a millionaire, but he understood the components of credit. And everybody needs to understand that because this is what dictates your credit score. Okay, so let's kind of talk about that. 35% of your credit score is payment history. Okay, this is why it's important that you should never be late. If you ever late, this is why you can lose up to 100 points, right? Because if the max score is 850, 35%, right, is about 260 to 280, right? So by missing a pay, excuse me there, by missing a payment, being late, or having a collection, this is why you lose so much points. Okay. This is the other reason, guys, why anytime you got anything late or negative, my recommendation is to dispute it until it's gone so that you can recapture those points. I hope this is making sense. This is also why when you add an authorized user to your credit report, like if your mom or dad, sister, brother add you to a credit card, if that credit card has history to it, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years history, this is why the scores can increase even more. Okay. I hope you guys are getting this. So payment history is the most important factor. So never be late and get rid of all late payments. Okay. Now, 30% it says amounts owed. What I want you to do if you're taking notes is this is really just a credit card section or revolving account section. 30% of your credit report is credit cards, revolving accounts. Okay. And so the other crazy part about this section is you can have a 750 credit score. And let's say that you just got a credit card for $1,000. Congratulations to you. The scores are 750. You got $1,000 credit card. The second you start using that credit card, let's say you use 300 or 400 of those dollars, that 750 credit score will go down under 700 because of the amount that you use on that credit card. Okay, so to be clear, guys, on credit cards and in this section, this revolving account section, you want to be at 10% or less of your limit. Whatever your limit is, you add all the limits up on your credit cards, and you want to just make sure in grand total that your balances is 10% or less. Because if they're not, then this is where you're going to be losing points. Okay, you can have a great payment history, and let's say that $1,000 credit card, you use the whole 1,000. Your scores can go down to 600 or potentially a little less because it's 30% of your overall score. A lot of times people think just because they pay on time, that's good. But you also got to make sure that utilization is down, okay? I hope that's clear, guys. Now, another 15% of your credit score is length of history, okay? How long you have had credit, okay? Of course, the longer you had credit and the better you pay, in a lot of cases, you get higher limits, right? And more approvals because you've shown to be a great paymaster, right? So that's why length of history is important. 10 says types of credit. So you want to have different types of credit. You want to show that you got a home loan, student loan, car loan, right? Credit card. You want to be versatile, the profile. So if the profile is versatile, you get even more points, okay? And this last 10% says new credit, which is really also inquiries, okay? So when you inquire, you get hit, okay? So you want to make sure in most cases, most banks don't like you to have no more than 3 or 4 inquiries in a 5 or 6 month time frame. Okay. So just make sure that you keep those inquiries down. Now, guys, remember there's 2 types of inquiries. You got a hard inquiry and you got a soft inquiry. Okay. Hard inquiry affects the score. Okay. And you can lose a couple of points, normally between 2 to 5 points per inquiry is what the industry is doing now. A soft inquiry does not affect your credit score. That's when you go to Identity IQ or you go look up your own credit report online. That does not affect your credit score. Only when you go apply it to stores and things like that is when it will affect the score. Okay, so I hope this is making sense, guys. So now, to sum this up, I want to keep it real simple. All you need is 4 to 6 positive accounts that were never late. And you want to make sure that your utilization on your credit cards is at 10% or less. That's what's going to put you in a 700 plus credit score. Simply. Okay. Once again, guys, all negatives off the credit report, make sure you got 4 to 6 positive accounts. 1 or 2 of those are credit cards, and that credit card utilization is at 10% or less. Boom. Now you got a 700 plus credit score, and you can move on and start getting access to capital or getting the things that you are desiring. Okay. Now, this is good, man. All negative info can be removed. So I'm not just the one talking about this. I just want you guys to know this ain't no Darvin Moore stuff. This is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? There's laws that were devised for you to protect yourself, to get things off the credit report so people can't just, bogard you. Okay. So thanks to the FCRA, they give Americans the right to dispute any item on the credit report. Okay. So even if it is yours, you can still dispute it, right? Any item. So let me be clear about this dispute process. Okay. All you're going to be doing is asking the credit bureaus to verify or remove the item from the credit report. Okay. Verification means that the credit bureaus should have a document with your signature on it in their file cabinet before they put that on the credit report. You follow me? So let's say, for instance, Ms. Diamond, she was on talking with us earlier. If Ms. Diamond wouldn't open up an account with Wells Fargo is supposed to send a copy of the contract to the credit bureaus with Diamond's signature on it, right? And the credit bureaus are supposed to have that in their file cabinet before they put it on your credit report, right? But that's not how they operate, guys. Wells Fargo got a contract with the credit bureaus, and they just got a computer system where they can just key in information and boom, it's over at those credit bureaus. That's really not the right way to do it. How can Wells Fargo prove that Diamond had this contract and Diamond is, really obligated for this? So what I'm telling you guys is the credit bureaus don't have these files in file cabinets. And so all you're going to be doing is asking them to verify this information or remove it. Okay. Now, of course, it's dozens, if not hundreds of tactics or ways to dispute items off the credit report. I'm giving you one that's real simple, okay, and real seamless. You're going to be sending a letter asking them to verify this information or remove it. If they don't do it the first month, then you're going to keep on sending it every 30 days until it's gone. Excuse me. No matter what they say, they're going to send you a letter. Say, hey, Diamond, we're not going to take this off for 7 years. Take it up with Wells Fargo. Then what is Diamond supposed to do? Send out another letter every 30 days until it's gone. I've done this tens of thousands of times. Okay. So I'm here today to just tell you that it works. Okay. All right. So let's not forget that, guys. So one thing is key as well. Okay. So I told you guys how to get the negatives off. That's real simple. You're just going to keep disputing. Let's talk about some other aspects of what's going on here. We're really trying to get our credit together so that we can get access to capital. Is that right? Somebody say, yeah, coach, that's right. Like, why are we even on this call today? Because we're trying to get access to some money, I think, right? So that we can get a house, get a car. We're trying to do some leveraging, form a business, get access. Let me know if I'm right about that. Because if that's the case, what I want you to understand is that banking relationships are the most important thing. Because one day, you're going to need the bank's money. Right? One day you're going to need the bank's money. And the question is, will you be ready? Okay? So which one you think is better going into the bank, a 600 credit score or 750 credit score? So I know, one thing I know is that everybody going to need some money one day. So the question is, when you need the money, where are your scores going to be? They need to be in the 700s or better to get the better rates. Your credit scores dictate how much you pay for money, to be clear. So you have to learn this. You have to get this lesson. Otherwise, you pay more. Okay? So let's make sure that we understand that we're building credit so we can get access to capital. So now the thought process is, what banks are you going to be working with? Okay? A lot of times, we only got one bank account. We're only dealing with one bank. I don't like that. I got had some people that didn't even have a bank account. So where are you going to get money at in the future if you don't have a bank account on a personal or business side? And one bank ain't going to do it. Today, I want me and you both to be firm believers of this, that multiple banking relationships is important, not just one, okay? Because what one bank won't do, the next bank will. Some banks, you can't even open a business account. Some banks won't even give you a personal loan. Some banks' credit cards don't go over $10,000. Some start at $5,000 and won't give you anything under that. So it's very important, guys, that you figure out which banks you want to have relationships with. So as a tip, community banks and credit unions are normally the better ways to go because the interest rates are normally lower and they have more products and available things for even the newer consumers. Okay. So remember, guys, that one of the things I want you all to think about is having multiple banking relationships. Okay. Of course, I know in the industry, a lot of people are talking about Navy Federal because they give high limits, right? So that's a great bank. U.S. Bank is a great bank. Wells Fargo is a great bank because on the personal and business side, as long as you're getting loans, $50K or less, they don't ask for, verification or a lot of information. So depending on what your goals are, is going to dictate which banks you want to start having relationships with. Okay. So very important. As we're building our credit up, we want to build relationships with certain banks. And some banks, guys, have what's called their own internal data points or their own internal scores, right? Like Navy Federal is one, right? So what that means is not only do they look at your TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, they got a score inside for you based on your activity with them. And so in most cases, just to get around or to be mindful about that, it's just really having a checking account, a savings account, and maybe another product with that bank. Now you have good internal points with them. So later on, when you come later on down the road, when you need money, you can go to those banks and ask them for money. Okay. So those that know me, this is one of my favorite slides, right? See, the government understands and know that we don't know much about money. We're like an infant in the world of money and credit and business building. And so here it's like, this guy this guy is giving this child a credit card machine to swipe his card, and he's selling them some milk, right? And so, guys, we need to understand how this thing really works. One thing I like about this slide is this dollar sign. I always talk about this. When I was coming up, the dollar sign had the two lines on it, right? As in this picture. But today, they changed the money sign on us. It's just an S with just one line through it, right? And so I never got that memo. And, they changed the money right before our eyes, right? And then it's funny that they charging the baby for milk. The baby should not have to pay for milk. Right now, today, we paying for water. I never thought it'd be a day where we will actually have to pay for water. So let's just start being mindful, guys, about everything that's happening, okay? So on the credit card side, this is what I want you to understand. So first off, guys, credit is dead on its face. Let's understand that, okay? A lot of people been taught from their parents that, credit is bad. And it can be bad if it's used the wrong way. It can, because you have to pay interest on the money, okay, that you're getting. So if interest is 17%, if you borrow $100, you got to pay $117 back if it's 17% interest. So you have to pay more than what you borrow. And this is what a lot of our parents and stuff are talking about. They don't want us to get into that kind of trap. So me as your coach and your strategist, I'm letting you know now that all credit money should be invested. I'm only talking to you about how to get to this next level so you can use it to invest it to make more than what you initially came in at. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. And so I just wanted to talk to you guys about this credit card. You know, the average credit card interest rate is 17%. Okay. So this is a 10K credit card at 17%. So on month one, if you use $10,000, your payment is going to be $142. So now your balance should be $9,858. That's normally what you think in summary. But after interest, guys, in 30 days go by, your balance is now $999. You paid $142, right? But only one of those dollars went towards the principal. Okay. So we really gave away $141. Now let's go after 12 months. After 12 months of paying $142 a month, that's $1,846 that you paid in, right? And after 12 months, guys, guess what? The balance is still $9,995. So that's only $5 that went towards interest. We go to 3 years, you pay over $5,000, only 15 went to interest. Go 10 years, okay, you paid over $17,000 in interest and only 104 went towards the principal. So what's wrong with these pictures? So this is what I'm telling you that we shouldn't be doing with credit, okay? Now, real simply, today, a lot of banks are giving what's called 0% interest, introductory, on credit cards and some other products. So nobody should be carrying interest on a credit card. If you carry interest on the credit card, you're missing some steps and you really don't understand how this goes. Okay. So even today, if you got credit cards and you got interest that you're paying, you should be going to another bank or credit union or place and get a 0% interest product and transfer the balances over so that the money that you pay every month can go directly towards the principal. This is very important, guys, because this is what I've seen a lot of people not pay attention to, and this is how we're losing. Just remember that banks are giving away 0% interest. I'm a 0% interest specialist. If you need help figuring this part out, give me a call and I definitely can help you figure out how to not pay interest on credit cards, okay? So here's another real quick shout out from Tahira Thomas. She's a long-term friend. I've been working in the financial industry space for over 15 years.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tahira Thomas, and I just want to give a brief kind of testimony and let you all know what and how things have been going with my program with the Coach Darvin Moore. I've been knowing Darvin for years now. Let me tell you, if you haven't come in contact with him, I encourage you to do so because this man knows his stuff. He's an awesome team working with him and he gets the job done. Right now, my sons are 19 and 20 and their credit scores are well over 750. Not only do I take the knowledge that I've learned from Darvin, but I also pass it on to my children as well. So they're prepared when they go out into this financial, into the world, period, and just to get the things that they need regarding business, entrepreneurship, or just their personal lives.
All right, great. So one thing is important about what Tahira talked about here was her children, 18, 19 years old, I think she said. Listen, guys, when my son was 20 years old, he had over $200,000 worth of available credit, okay? And so I know some people might say, oh, that's a lot. He don't need that. What is he doing with that? Listen, let's give them a shot, okay? Let's give them a shot. If they mess it up, hey, when we were young, we messed it up. Now, I'm not saying that that's what we're hoping for. We should have these meetings and talk to them about how money works and how it goes. But I think it's our responsibility to sit them down, help them build their credit to 700s or better, and get them this access so they can potentially build a business or do something on a great level, okay? So do me a favor, guys, and if you got children, have them tune in with us and listen to this information. You start helping them build their credit up and out so they can have a real fighting chance, okay? Like Tahira did with her boys. So you guys know that you should never go to the dealership for a car loan, I hope you guys know that, okay? Unless you want 7 to 15 inquiries to be pulled on your credit report. All right, because see, what they're doing is they're pulling the credit so many times because they know that you may go to a competitor across the street or somewhere else and go get a vehicle. So they go run into a lot of people to see who's going to give you, that loan. That's not what you want to do, guys. You normally just want to go to a credit union or to your bank, let them know what kind of car you want so they can just pull the credit report one time, okay? And the other reason why this is so important is because 7 to 15 inquiries can keep you out of the game for later. So let's say, for instance, you go get the car, they pull the credit report 15 times. Now, this investment might be coming up next month and you need, to get access to capital. But you can't because the bank sees that you got an inquiry. So this is why it's important not to run up a bunch of inquiries and to be strategic about that. So I hope that makes sense. Somebody say, Coach, that makes sense. I understand. I'll be going to, the credit union or to one of my local banks and not to the dealership. Okay. And the dealership will tell you that they won't run it, all of those times, but they don't really care about you. They're trying to get, they're trying to get their commission. And so they want you to buy a car. So they'll go ahead and run it a bunch of times. Okay. Now, this guy, I just got this guy here because he represents collections. I kind of went on collections real briefly and kind of help you guys with this. So I already said that any and everything can come off the credit report. We know that already. So just make sure that you're disputing every 30 days until it come off. Now with collections, so let's talk about Diamond. Let's say that Diamond, remember we talked about she had a Wells Fargo credit card for $1,000. Congratulations, Miss Diamond. Now let's say Miss Diamond lost her job and she couldn't pay the credit card bill anymore. So normally what Wells Fargo will do, they'll sell that debt to a collection agency, right, guys? That's how collection agency normally pick up debt. They pick it up from another company. Now, first off, I want to tell you guys this, that Diamond doesn't have any contract with a collection agency. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody on here has a contract with a collection agency. Do you? No. It's normally with that original person that we did business with. So therefore, that collection agency really don't have the right to collect from you or the right to put that information on your credit report. Okay. But because they know we don't know laws that well, they do what they want to do. Right? Because Diamond had a contract with Wells Fargo. They sold it to ABC Collection. ABC Collection put on a credit report, got her social security number, all her private information, and all of these things. So I'm going to say this, guys. If a collection agency ever call your home, this is what I want you to tell them. Sir or ma'am, never call my home again. Anything that you need to say to me, send it in writing to the address that you have on file. This is all you have to say. And they'll never call you again, okay? You'll actually see fire coming from the phone, from their mouth and their nose, because they're going to be so upset, right? So bag up from the phone sound when you tell them that. And there's a law, guys, that states if they call you after that, they owe you $1,000. So you don't have to dodge phone calls from a collection agency. You just tell them I'll call you again, anything they need to say to you, send it in writing to the address that they have on file. And that's it. Collections should just be disputed every 30 days until they off the report. I'm not a firm believer of going off just paying the collection because, see, paying collections don't help your credit at all. Paying a collection can restart the statute of limitation on the credit report. Meaning, let's say, for instance, Diamond had a 5-year-old collection. That 5-year-old collection is no longer affecting the scores. Most negative items don't affect the scores after 2 years of being old. If it's 2 years old, it no longer affects the score. I still recommend you get rid of it. But if Diamond goes ahead and call that collection agent and say, okay, I'm gonna pay this collection, and it's 5 years old, it can lower the score because the credit report is gonna now read that collection as a new collection that just hit the credit report because there's new activity on it now. and now can stay on the report for another 7 years because of the new activity. So this is what I want you guys to be mindful of. Now, I'm not saying don't pay the collection, although I wouldn't pay it. I would just get it off the report. I'll get my money together. And if I'm feeling happy after that, and, you know, I want to pay, you know, some of the collections off, I will. But the goal is to have a good credit score right now, not really go around paying everybody off, because that may not necessarily help our quest, right? Now, there are some companies that will let you pay it and they'll delete it. Now, that's a little different. You can pay for deletion if you like, right? But remember, the first step is always just deleting everything, disputing it so it could come off. And, you know, once it's off, if you feel like you want to pay somebody, once you get yourself together, then you can. I hope this is clear, guys. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying here. Remember, questions will be doing questions, you know, here. But make sure that you do this every day. That's really important. Any and everything can come off the credit report. So same thing with student loans. You know, I get a lot of people that talk to me about student loans. Yes, student loans can come off the credit report. Somebody say it. Any and all things can come off the credit report. Okay? Say it again. So how do they come off? You just dispute it every 30 days by asking the credit bureaus to verify or remove. And that's it. It might not come off the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, but it will eventually come off. And you don't have a choice. You have to keep disputing it so that you can have the better scores, so you can get the better interest rates and the best access to capital. So there is no excuse. If it's there, you need to dispute it if it's negative. Now, a couple more things about student loans, and then I'll get out of here. Make sure, guys, that you always keep the student loans in deferment if that's what you're doing, because sometimes you forget that it's in deferment, and so now you get a late payment that show up. Okay. Now, if the student loan was never late, then you don't need to dispute it, right? Sometimes I know that student loans will upset your debt to income ratio. Like some people got student loans on the credit report and they owe so much that they're not able to get other money or close on a house or something because it's there. Now, that's the only time I'll recommend to go ahead and dispute it off if that's the case, okay? If it's not negative. So right now I'm speaking on if it's not negative and you still want it off because it's dealing with your debt to income ratio, you can still dispute it to get it off. So what I'm saying, even if it's a good account, you can dispute a good account and get it off the credit report. A bad account, you can dispute and get off the credit report. Okay, so this is the author, guys. I want you to meet the author, okay? Your credit report is like a vital sign, is being monitored at all times. You are the author. You can add what you want to the credit report, and you can remove what you want from the credit report. So that makes you the author. I don't want you going around thinking you got to, accept the credit that everybody giving you. No, you are the author. You dictate the scores, right? You can remove what you want. You can add the right positive to get to the place you need to be. So I got this here. It says your credit report is like a vital sign, is being monitored at all times. When I first started really diving into credit and helping other people, I had this client that had about 8 negative items on the credit report. Okay. Her scores were, in the mid 500s. Okay. Follow me here. She had 8 negatives on the credit report. Scores was mid 500s. We disputed all 8 of those negative items, right? And in 1 month, all of them came off. All 8 negative items came off. The lady's score went from like 550 to about a 750 in 30 days. So what does that mean? How did that happen? Because the credit report is in real time. If the negatives are no longer there, the scores adjust. Okay, guys, this is how you can have great credit in a week or two, in a few months, because you have to get the stuff off of there. You have to tweak it so that it can adjust to be where you need it to be. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. And so really, guys, I figured this out for us already. I understand how this goes. So what I want you to do today is just think about unlocking your financial potential through modeling and application. Model what me and my team have been doing for the last 10 years. Model what you've seen those people that gave you those testimonies done. They just followed the steps and they got to this place. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do anything different or extra. Do what the coach is asking you guys to do so you can get to this place in your life that you need to be. Okay. So here's one more quick shout out from Johnny. He's been in the banking space for over 10 years now. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Johnny Ferguson, and I am a branch manager in the financial industry in the Milwaukee area. I've been in banking for over 15 years. I've worked in the low to moderate income area, as well as the affluent markets as well. And I have to say that being in banking that long, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on financials and what it takes to get approved for different types of products with the banks, credit and stuff like that. It wasn't until I met Darvin and went to one of his seminars or his classes and learned that he was teaching a lot of stuff that the bank was teaching, but also some stuff that we weren't teaching. I have to admit I was reluctant at first, so I dived in just to kind of see if he can help me personally as well as my business. And lo and behold, he did. He changed my life. He changed my family's life. And the one thing that I would say is to follow through. Darvin has a very strategic plan that works and that can and will help you. The stuff that I was taught in banking, his knowledge for credit and access to capital far exceeds what I was taught. And so I would say, if you're planning on, or if you're thinking about working with Darvin Moore and his team, I would say that you're on the right tracks. So I encourage you, brothers and sisters, everybody to go out and get with Darvin. Let him help you. Let him help your business. Let him help your family. That's the quickest way to economic growth. So thank you all and have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. Let's see if we can get him off of here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Johnny Ferguson.
Okay, great. So guys, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna transition and kind of talk a little bit about business credit, because I know a lot of people wanted information there. And then I'll go ahead and close out with some of the products and programs we have that can help assist you if that's what you need. And then we can answer some questions. Okay, but before I go into business credit, like I said, if you got personal credit questions, you're gonna ask those in the end. I want to make sure everybody get what I'm saying today. Personal credit is not that hard. It's not rocket science. It's a matter of you staying focused on what you need to do. If you have negatives, you need to put a letter in the mailbox every 30 days until those negatives are removed. If you're writing a letter, or if you get a letter from my team, make sure just go ahead and make multiple copies of that letter, so that you can just put that same letter in the mailbox every month, so you don't have to keep revisiting, writing another letter. That will simplify that process for you. The only thing that you have in addition to that is to make sure you got 4 to 6 positive accounts. Okay. If you need assistance on what positive accounts you need to add, me and my team can help you with that, because everybody's profile is different. It's different accounts that you can add to help benefit what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, guys. And once the scores get to 700 or better, this is when you need to go to the banks and start getting some of their products. Not when it's 650, not when you got negative items, because they're going to give you a lower limit. Okay. The banks will give you a lower limit if you got negatives on the credit report. So it don't make sense for you to be trying to go and apply now because you're desperate. Wait until the time is right so you can get real access to money, so you can really change things. Okay. That's very important. Like, patience is one of the most important things you're going to have in this journey. Everybody ain't going to make it. Let's be clear. because let's say out of 100 people that I'm helping, build their credit and get them to the next level, once they start seeing them scores hit 660, 650, they start going and do applications for credit without my knowledge, right? And so make sure that's not you. Get those items off before you try to access money. You'll have a much better experience, okay? So, of course, guys, business credit is important. I recommend everybody form a company and start building business credit. If you got a child, I recommend you do it for the child as well. So that way, by the time they're 18, you built a company, you can hand it to them and say, here you go, boy or girl. Now go ahead and, start your landscaping company. Go ahead and start your real estate development company because you built the company already. They already got banking relationships. They already got vendor relationships with your Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Penske's truck, at Advanced Auto, wherever. Build the relationships for them now. So by the time they're ready to come across the threshold, they already in the game. That's how I see business credit. Like I told you, when my son was 20 years old, he had a couple $100,000 in available credit. This is how. Through his personal, and he formed a couple of businesses. He was also able to get a vehicle at 20 years old, only in his business name. Okay. And so that means so can your children. Somebody just got to do the steps and put in the little work that needs to be done. Somebody got to focus to make sure that this happens. I don't know who that's going to be, but I'm hoping that's the person that's on the other end listening, right? Somebody got to take care of the family. Somebody got to take ownership in the one that understands this financial information and move it forward. Okay. So on the business side, guys, we're looking at in building business credit, you just want to make sure it's an LLC, C Corp or S Corp, right? The sole props don't really get much in business credit. Okay. So on business credit, remember, we got two sides. You got non-PG and PG credit, meaning non-PG, they call also corporate credit. Non-PG means personally guaranteed. So PG means personally guaranteed. That's what I meant. So there's some business credit that you can use your social security number to personally guarantee. And then there's some business credit that you don't have to use your social security number. Everything is obtained in the business name only, or with the business EIN number only. And this is why I tell people all the time, you can have bad personal credit and still form a company and have A1 business credit. Okay. Now, I recommend that we always work on them both at the same time, because some people say, well, I'm going to work on my personal first and then my business. Or I'm going to work on my business because my personal is so bad. Let me say something to you. You are always supposed to be working on both, no matter what. Even if you got A1 personal credit and A1 business credit, you still need to be working on them. You still, and what do I mean by that? You still need to be building more vendor or banking relationships at all times. So it's always something to do, I guess is my point. So if you're not working on it, then you're missing some steps. And if you get lost, like sometimes people don't know what their next step is. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you figure out what your next step is so we can get to this goal of leveraging other people's money. Okay. So once again, on the business side, LLC, corporation, C Corp or S Corp. It only takes a few months to really build the business profile out. Everybody's goal is different on business credit. I want you to form a company and build it so you can have leverage, so you can have access to capital and goods, right? So that you can trade it, invest it, or do something to make more money. Okay. So when it comes to building your business, the foundation is key. That's the most important thing, is the foundation. So I'm going to go over some of the foundational things today and a couple more points on business. And then I'm going to go ahead and tell you about some of the products we have and answer some questions. Now, the foundation is key in business, because if the foundation ain't there, you won't be getting any credit or anything if the foundation is not proper. Okay, so let's make sure we know what those foundational things are. And so those foundational things are this. First off, guys, of course, you want to know what your business name is. You want to have a business name that's not red flagged, right? Like they don't like real estate in your business name, right? Because that means you're gonna be investing in stuff in real estate, and they don't really like that much. The banks don't, right? So don't put real estate in your business name. Don't put investment in the word investment in your business name, right? Of course, you don't want to put, any type of liquor in your business name, any type of exotic stuff in your business name, because they won't fund you in the future, right? Of course, you don't want to put anything like dealing with marijuana or drugs or right in the name. I'm just trying to show you we want to be real logical about what that name is. So because the name in itself cannot get us funded, and that's a fundamental thing. So once you got that name, of course, you're going to establish your articles of incorporation. You're going to do that with the Secretary of State. Okay. Then from there, guys, you're going to get your EIN number, which is free, right? You just go to irs.gov. That's free for you to get that EIN number. Some people call it a tax ID number. That's the number that's similar to, right, your social security number. It's the same number of digits, 9 digits. That's how, in the business realm, that's how they separate the personal from the business side. And that's how they're able to go and look at your business reports through that EIN number. Okay. So after that, on the foundational side, remember, first you got your articles of incorporation, then you got your EIN number, then you want to have a professional email, okay, and professional domain name. So whatever the name of your company is, you want to own that website domain name so that you can tie a professional email to it. You don't want a Gmail or Yahoo, because in the future, you're going to the banks and asking them for money. If you're going to ask them for money, and let's say I'm the underwriter, and if I see that your business email is something at gmail.com, then I'm not taking you serious like you're a serious business person really trying to get to the next level or get access to capital. So you need to have a professional email. Okay. So that's the third foundational step, was that domain name and email. The fourth step, guys, of course, is to have a business phone line. Okay, that's very important that you have a business phone line. Okay, Google Voice works, right? Google Voice is free. Just have to take that automatic lady off of there, but it is free and it works. Okay, that's a VoIP phone that ties to your personal cell phone. Okay, Grasshopper works, T-Mobile works, right? Spectrum works, but the phone should be in the business name. Okay, not in the personal name. It should be a phone designated in the business name, because a lot of those banks and lenders and vendors, if you call them, they're able to see if that's a business line or not as well, right? So make sure, guys, that don't mess that step up. At least make sure you got the right type of business line, okay? Now, the other thing is listing that phone number, okay? You want to list that phone number with information, or 411. Okay, so those that's taking notes, or somebody please put in the chat, listyourself.net. Okay, listyourself.net. That's where you can list your phone number for free. Okay, you're going to get a lot of people to call you, or places that's trying to charge you to list that phone number, but you can get it done free at listyourself.net. That way, if a vendor, lender, or bank is calling to check to see if your business is legit, they're going to call information, and then information going to give them that phone number. And now you bypass that test. Okay. So very important, guys. So lastly, what I want to tell you on the foundational side is the business bank account. I kind of talked about the bank accounts earlier, but you want to form that business bank account immediately. These steps that I told you that you need to do, this stuff shouldn't even take a day. These foundational steps shouldn't even take you 1 day to complete. Okay. So that means that same day or that next day, you're going to be going to open that business bank account. A lot of lenders and vendors don't consider the day that you really open business until the day you open that business bank account, because a lot of them are going to want to see, your last 3 bank statements and those kind of things in order to, extend you credit, etc. Okay, so the business bank account is important. Already gave you guys a few banks that I like. You can stick with them on the business side as well, right? Wells Fargo, PNC, Navy Federal Credit Union is good. U.S. Bank is good. And if you got a local credit union that got a business division, go ahead with your local credit union. Okay. But like I said, if you want some more advanced steps, of course, I got some programs that you guys can get in where I can help build a plan out for you so you can really get to this next level and get this access that we're talking about. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to talk about a few products, guys, and then we're going to answer some questions. So on the business side, guys, we just got this product developed, the business box kit, right? Business in the box, business startup, and business credit building. So basically, it's about 53 pages long. And it's going to give you the foundational steps that we just talked about, got the links to the places where you can directly go. It also talks about how you're going to be disputing some negative accounts on your business credit reports if you have those. Okay, got the links and then direct access to where you go if you got negatives on the business side, as well as how to purchase company assets with your company name. That information is there. How to purchase vehicles in the business name only, the places where you go, what to say. This is inside this business kit. Okay. Also, what's there, which is, to me, one of the most important parts about the kit is it got over 100 companies, okay, that's there to help build your business profile. So it got all of the companies, it got the links where you go. It even has the description. It has their phone numbers in the description of, if they report or not and what business bureaus they report to. So that's very important. I think this is one of the most comprehensive lists I've seen. And that's why I developed it, because I just wanted it to be something where a person can have and they just finished, right? They got all of the information there. Like I said, it's over 100 companies. So if you can't build your business profile with this, then something is wrong. Okay. And of course, you got the strategic steps on getting your free DUNS number and payback scores, right? And how we get those to 80 plus. So guys, this business kit is normally $999. But of course, anybody that's here today, you'll be getting that for half price for $499 for this business box kit. Now, like I said, it's everything that you need. And if you need extra consulting, what I'm willing to do, anybody that buy this business box kit, if you own today, you get it at half price. And I'll also give you one free consultation and analysis of your business and tell you exactly what you need to be doing inside this business box kit. Okay. So you get it for half price and you get a one-on-one with me to give you some steps. Okay. And most people that buy this will still need, business consulting, so I can help you with what banks you need to be matching with some of this. And sometimes people just get stuck. And that's where I come in at, where you guys can hire me to consult. Okay. So that's on the business side. And let's go back to the personal side. This is one of our most popular products, guys. It's called the cheat sheet. Basically, if you guys go ahead to Identity IQ, send me your username and password, me and my team will devise a letter for you that goes to the 3 credit bureaus. Okay, we devise the letter, we put it in your email, we send it to your email, and you put those letters in the mailbox every 30 days until all the negatives are gone. So my team will find the negatives on your credit report, put it on the letters for you, so you don't have to do anything but put it in the mailbox. This is our most popular product because it's a one-time fee. So if you got 1 to 20 items, then it's $100. If you got 21 to 40 items, it's $200. 41 to 60 negative items, and it's $300, and so on. So this is just a one-time fee. And so if you got negatives and you just want that stuff off, this is what I recommend. Okay. Like I said, we'll leave links and stuff in the description, or you can just go to globalcredithelp.com. Okay. And just key in your information and we'll get you going right away. Okay. But this process normally only takes 3 to 12 months, which is 3 to 12 rounds of letters that you sending out, right? And that stuff comes off the credit report. And like I said, same thing here. What I recommend is that you go ahead and make multiple copies of the letters so that you don't have to revisit printing it out every month. Have the letters already done and put it on your phone every 30 days to just put it in the mailbox. I'm hoping this is clear, guys, and it makes sense. And it is just that simple. Okay, it's just that simple. So here's another product we have. It's called the We Do It All. Okay, so basically, if you don't want to send out the letters yourself, you want somebody else to take care of this for you, then my team will do it. Of course, it's more expensive. The We Do It All program is $100 per item. So you $100 per item that we remove from the credit report. This program is $500 for your application and setup fee. And that $500 still goes towards the first 5 items that we remove. So you get credit as well for those items. And so after the 5th item come off, item number 6 come off, then that's when we'll start billing you $100 per item that come off. So you don't get billed monthly, you get billed as the items come off. So it's a pay for a performance plan, okay? And so you guys kind of heard the people talking about the Coaches Circle. So this is a great program we devised about a little over a year ago. And basically, guys, you get on the call with the coach, with me, or somebody on my team every month, okay? Those calls are normally only about 10 to 15 minutes, but they're direct. They're dealing with your profile, personal and business profile, and we figure out what steps we need to do to get you to the next level. Like I said, business and personal. And the goal in the Coaches Circle is really to get you to the bank, to get you access to money. Everybody needs a different amount of money. Everybody's is different. So, of course, everybody's steps will be different when we talk on the phone. But the goal is to build out the relationships so that we can access unsecured capital from the banks. And that's what the Coaches Circle main objective is. Build up the personal profile, build up the business profile so we can access money from the banks. We're on a call every 30 days to adjust those things to get there. These calls, so normally the Coaches Circle was a yearly membership, but this year what we did was we cut the yearly membership and just making it a monthly payment, okay? A monthly consulting fee of $250, and you can be inside the Coaches Circle. So you don't have to pay the $3,200 all at one time anymore. It's just $250 a month. And if you can't afford it every month, you just pay as you go, okay? It can be every 2 months, but at least we get those steps done to get you to this place. So I hope this makes sense, guys. And so for those of you that already got a 680 or better credit score, I can get funding for you, right? Funding for you, funding for your business. You know, if you want to do a new startup, at any time those scores are 680 or better, reach out to me and let's get on a phone call so I can let you know what's available and what we can or can't do, okay? So what I would like, everybody to do, if you can, before you get off today or as soon as you get off, is to go to my website, globalcredithelp.com, and subscribe, okay? Globalcredithelp.com, I believe is /mailing/list, right? /mailing/list. And so what you do is you go on the mailing list, put your information there, and you'll get updates of everything that I'm doing, any new, new gems in the industry that I think you may need to have that'll be available for you, okay? The same thing, guys. So this is just one of the pages on my site where you can do the business consultant, just key in your information, and then me or my team will get right to you to help assist you. So from here, guys, I want to just say thank you all for participating. I hope all this made sense for you all today. We will have many more classes and workshops, in the future. So just make sure, like I said, you tie into us so you'll get that information. And I think right now we can go ahead and answer some of those questions that we may have. So I'm going to get off of this presentation and see what we can do on these questions, okay? All right, guys. So we got questions. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to put Miss Diamond. Let's see, Miss Diamond. Can we get you back on? I don't know. Anybody got questions? Let's raise those hands. I see a Q&A section. Oh, okay. I see some questions here. So yeah, if you got questions, guys, just put them in that Q&A section, and I'll go right at it. So first question is Alexa. She says, so when you are disputing late payments or missed payments, for it to come off, would the account have to back in good standings for it to come off? For example, if I have an active credit card and I miss one payment and then make sure to pay that, the new bill, would that mean the missed payment will come off without any worries once it has been disputed? So anytime we got a missed payment, my recommendation is dispute it, the whole account, until it come off. Some people only dispute late payments, okay? I normally just dispute the whole account until it come off, because to me, that process is faster. Also, when you only disputing the late payment, you still admitting that it is your account. So it's more like you admitting that, okay, I am verifying that this is mine. I just want the late payment gone. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people that's successful with just removing late payments, but to be clear, so we can keep this simplified for everybody, because sometimes it get confusing. Anytime anything was late, we're just gonna dispute it and get the whole account off. And some people are under the impression that if they were late a couple of months ago, and if they on time now, then they good. And that's not the case, you guys. Because if you look at your credit report, it's gonna say you was late a few months ago. And so that's what hurts the score. Even though you on time now, the fact that you was late a few months ago, still dealing with your credit. Y'all remember that screen I showed you with the components of credit? Payment history was 35% of your score. So because that late payment is there, that payment history is still gonna show up. So Alexis, I hope I answered that good for you. I think I did, but just let me know if that wasn't good enough, okay? And so let's see. So Mr. Mika says, when you dispute the info, does it take away from the 7-year mark of removal? Does it that part over again? So not when you dispute it, right, Tamika, but if it's some new activity on that account, or you make a payment or something, that can restart the statute of limitation, but not disputing it, okay? Not disputing it. So, and that's a great question. But remember that no matter what, guys, if we got something negative, we're going to dispute it until it's off. Because that's what's going to get us to the next level. No matter what it is, if it's late, negative, collection, judgment, charge off, tax lien, public record, anything, we're going to dispute it until it come off. Okay. And so Latoya says, what are the best accounts to open for children ages? I think she's saying at 4 and 15. And so I'm not sure what kind of accounts you're asking to open, because in most cases, you can do a bank account, but you have to be on that account with them. And so when I'm talking about building the credibility for children, in most cases, you'll just have to form a company, and that company has to be in your name and the child name, right? And you just build it up, and then once the company gets to a certain level, you can just hand it over to the child. And that's mostly what I'm talking about when it comes to, helping build the child out. And so in reference to the child's credit report, like, a person can't get a credit report or score until they hit 18. A personal credit report or score. You can't get one until you're 18. So their credit journey on the personal side really don't start till they're 18. But when they're 18, they can be put on a credit card as an authorized user. They got history to it, which can help build the score, but they can't get a score until they get 18, until they're 18 years old. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, guys. All right, so we got a couple more. What if you have IRS debt? So I'm not sure what the question is. If you have IRS debt, what? But it don't make a difference what kind of debt you have. You still can be building your personal and business profile. No matter what debt you have, that means nothing on building your personal business profile. Most of the time, IRS debt not showing up on your credit anyway, in most cases. Okay. So even though you got IRS debt, you can still be building out the profile. So I hope that makes sense. Yolanda's asking, do the dispute letters have to be mail certified? So they don't, Yolanda. They don't. Certified in some cases, they say, they say gets a little bit more looked at. And I doubt that because they have to look at all of them. They have to look at certified and non-certified. So for this lecture, I'm going to tell you just to send them out. They don't certified. Certified costs a little bit more money. Certified is a little bit more process that you got to do. I don't want to get nobody here today any excuses not to put them dang on letters in the mailbox, because that's the most important. That's the most important lesson that we all can get today if we do that. If y'all follow my instructions with that, you'll be able to tell your families, friends, and testify to everybody to just put a letter in the mailbox and it work. Okay, so they don't have to be certified. So Tamika says, when you dispute the info, does it take away from the 7? Does it start? We talked about that. Michelle said, regarding dispute letters, what is the chances of it being placed on the credit report again with the creditors, or can they resell it to somewhere else? That's a great question, Michelle. So most of the time it don't come back, right? Most of the time the credit bureaus block that information, right? They block that creditor's name and they block that account number, so that even if the creditor tried to put it back there, it can't come back on there because it's blocked. Now, you raise another great point, but that creditor can sell it to another agency. Now it's a new account number and a new name, and it can come back at that point, okay? But remember, guys, it don't come back much. And even if it did come back, what are we supposed to do? Dispute it until it come off. Because let's be clear, guys, something always gonna happen, right? Right, Michelle? Michelle might get everything off her credit report today, but something, misfortune might happen a few months down the road where she still got to go back and dispute. So dispute is part of your arsenal, okay? Anytime something is negative there, you just put a letter in the mailbox because that dictates the future of your money. So, and I say that because sometimes people feel like, well, if I dispute and it's possible that they could come back, then I ain't gonna dispute because it just don't make sense. Y'all better get out of here. It makes sense for you to get some money at a low rate. It makes sense for you to get in the game and build a legacy for your family. So there is no excuses, right? And thanks for that question, Michelle. So Brittany is asking, how much did you spend on a credit card again? So, and I think we're talking about the space to be able to have the best possible score. So the industry says you need to be at 30% or less, right? So if you got $1,000 credit card, then you can't owe no more than $300, which is 30%. Me as your coach and financial strategist, I want you to always think 10% or less, because at 10% or less, you're going to have a better score than you got at 30%. The better score is what gives you the better rates and more approvals. So I want you to always understand that 10% or less is the best score. Now, if you want to get exact, then 1 to 3% is the sweetest spot of them all. Okay, 1 to 3% of the total limits. Okay, great question, Brittany. So Brandy is asking, when you relocate, how should you handle your business account? Okay, so remember one thing, Brandy, we talked about, we're gonna have multiple business accounts. So you're gonna keep that business account because you still want that business relationship. I'm hoping that business, you can do stuff online or via your phone and transfer and still move money around. So I will always still keep that relationship, but if it's not a relationship that's real flexible, then of course you want to still create another relationship and make sure that most of the money is in that bank so that you can do the things that you need to do. Okay. So we got another one said, Kelly from YouTube, is the cheat sheet for personal or business? So the cheat sheet, of course, is for personal, guys. The cheat sheet is only for personal, all of the personal negative information you got on the credit report. That's when my team divides a letter for you, send it to your email, and all you got to do is put that same letter in the mailbox every 30 days until those things are all. It's just a one-time fee you pay, not nothing monthly. One-time fee of $100 as long as you just got 1 to 20 items. Okay, so let's see. Janelle said, when disputing negative, should I open a credit card to help the credit? But will this lower my score? When disputing, with disputing negative, should I open a credit card? So Janelle, in most cases, not. Remember, if you got negatives, you shouldn't be opening up a new account because most of the time they're gonna give you something low because your credit ain't ready yet. Okay, so in most cases, what I recommend, just continue to dispute the negatives off, and then you're gonna add potentially an authorized user to your credit account. So if you don't have a credit card now, you got a decent credit card limit. You're gonna talk to somebody in your family, mother, father, sister, brother. You're gonna ask them to add you to a credit card as an authorized user, and that's gonna kick and boost your scores up. And then when you get ready to go and apply yourself, the banks or lenders will match that higher limit, and you will be in the game. Now, I hope that makes sense. So, but I don't want you to add, yourself to authorized user until all the negatives are off the report. So you don't have to ask your mom, brother, or sister to add you now. You can talk to them now about adding you later, but you don't want to get added until you identify that those negatives are off. You get the authorized user added, then you go get your own cards, and then you can come off that authorized user. You only want to use that authorized user temporarily, 30, 60 days, and you don't need it no more. That's the thought process, because we don't want to be added to authorized users and then they be late one day, or they need to use the money and they use it all, and now it's going to upset your score. Because remember, their utilization affects your score. Okay, but great question. Daryl asking, is it a certain amount or good amount that should be being deposited in the bank account each month? Daryl, great question, man. Beautiful question. Well, the more the better, right? Because the banks make money off the money that you got in the bank account. I'm not sure if you guys know about fractional banking or fractional reserve banking. So basically, they feel like they're your partner the more money you got going through there, which at the end of the day will open up the floor for you to get more money later. And not only with that particular bank, right, Daryl, but like if you got a business and you're trying to get access to capital, et cetera, it's a lot of banks that ask to see your banking information. Let me see how much money you've been putting in the bank the last 3 or 4 months. And they base how much of a loan they're gonna give you off of how much money you had going into that bank account. Okay, so I hope I answered that question for you well enough. But yes, so you can be building relationship with that bank internally, and you also can be having a track record for later for other banks to lend you money based on that. Okay, so I got another question here from Marvin. What's going on, Marvin? One thing I've learned is that you only need 4 to 6 positive accounts to track the 700 mark, because I have a score that's over 700, yet I opened over 16 positive accounts within the last year, and it affected me getting funded. I've learned that through Darwin. So this dude is the truth. Hey, thank you, Marvin. So yeah, so basically what Marvin is saying, guys, is that he got 16 new accounts in the last year, right? He built his scores up. He's 700 plus. And I commended Marvin for doing such a great job by himself. The only difference between Marvin and putting me in there with Marvin is I would have just got him greater limits. Marvin just, he didn't go to the banks that I would have went to. And the strategy was just a little different, but he got a 700 plus credit score. But Marvin don't got access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, which, I would have came in and put him with a few different credit unions that did things a little bit differently. It's not about how many accounts you got. It's about which relationships and accounts you got with which banks, so that you can raise the bar and get more later. Thanks, Marvin, for chiming in on that. So Tanya is saying, how building credit affect one personally, and is building business if there's a Chapter 7 discharge, bankruptcy, and Chapter 13 with credit score of 636. What are the current vendors that you suggest that are reporting outside of self-lending? Okay, so how does building credit affect one personally? and it's building credit if there's a Chapter 7 discharge. So remember, guys, no matter where you at, you always can build. Chapter 7, 13, owing the IRS, bankrupt, I don't make a difference. You always can be removing negatives from the personal credit report and adding positives so that you can put yourself in position to get money later. Same thing on the business side. No matter where you at, bankruptcy, all of this stuff, you still can build a business, okay? Form a company and start building your relationships with different vendors, lenders, and building that score up. Why? So you can access money later. So that's really the message that I want everybody to have, that we always want to build, right? It's like planting the seed, plant the apple seed, right? For apple tree. You plant it, you water it, and it's going to produce apples for you, for life. And that's the same thing with building your personal and business credit. Once you build it, it can start producing for you, fruits. It can give you access to money that you can invest, for later. I hope that makes sense. All right, we got Deontay, got bro on. Bro said, what would you recommend for someone who has been current with their bills for 8 years, but has one late payment because I don't want to lose that payment history? Yeah, don't nobody want to lose that payment history. So, if they got 8 years of credit, losing that one account or how many accounts they got in total, not going to hurt that bad, right? And you always can add another account to offset if they think it's going to hurt. Like an authorized user that's 6, 7, 8 years to offset that loss that one might have there. Remember, I'm a firm believer of getting rid of all lates. I want everybody on this call to be firm believer of getting rid of all lates. Now, my advice is to dispute the whole account because it can happen faster. Some people do just dispute the late payment. That's not part of what I do. Okay. But that's up to you. But like I told you what my advice is. Dispute it, get it out the way, get the scores where they need to be, and go get to some capital. Sometimes we pull these little technical files on the way we think and how we think things should go, but we forgetting what the ultimate goal is: access to money. Right? So Tamika said the creditors will they have the addresses available to send to letters? The creditors, will they have their address available to send the letter? Yeah, so normally on the credit report, at the bottom, especially Identity IQ, they got all the addresses and stuff to the creditors. But we don't send letters to the creditors. I hope I didn't make a mistake by making you guys think that. Our letters go to the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So if we send letters, if you get the cheat sheet, we send letters to you, it's only going to be 3 letters. One with a TransUnion, and it's going to have all the negative accounts that were on TransUnion, one for Equifax with all the negative items that Equifax had, one with Experian and all the negative accounts that was on Experian. So you'll get 3 letters, and those letters are going to the credit bureau, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. We don't dispute with the creditors. That's another tactic that one can use. But remember, I want this to be simplified so everybody can make it and it makes sense. When you're doing a lot of different things, it can get confusing and people conk out, okay? So I hope that makes sense, guys. So Gerald is asking, do I need to buy the book if I want the $250 a month program? I think so, Gerald. I think the book is good for you because it has all the information and things there. It has all of the, over 100 different vendors. So all of those vendors by themselves is priceless because you're going to do a few of those applications and get 5, 10, 15, 20K, lines of credit or accounts with some of these companies. So that value is there. So I think you should do both, right? Although on our monthly calls, I would probably be telling you which vendors to use that's in that kit as well. But we also we're going to strategize on the personal and business side with your banks and get a plan together for you. So those are really 2 different things, Gerald. So I think you should still get the book as well. So let's see. Can you use 2 businesses with one address, or both businesses have to have separate addresses? Somebody thinking today. Good question, Zendra. So great question. You can do up to 3 businesses at the same address. Okay. Sometimes what I've done in the past is I put, suite 1, 2, or 3 on the address after the address, right? Or A or B. You can get away with that as well. But you also can still get away with just using the same address. Okay. That was a great question, Zindra. So Sean from YouTube is saying, does the business have to be brick and mortar or can it be online? Okay, Sean talking right now. Sean, it don't have to be brick and mortar. And the business, but you do have to have a business address. So I don't want to mix that to say, can it just be online? Because can't nobody send you nothing online. Like you got to make orders, you got to get mail, and that mail address can't be an online address. So